Hi everyone. I hope everyone are safe. Let's get back to the scenario. We're gonna provision a load balancer and an application gateway. Now, if you see the architecture, now we have to place the load balancer in the VNet Central India, and we have to place the application gateway in the VNet West Europe. Now let's do that. So we go into the portal, and if you select the networking services, there will be finding application gateway and a load balancer. So let me create the load balancer. So the region where I'm gonna create this load balancer is in Central India. So let me choose RG Central India, Central India. And I wanted it to be an internal load balancer. I don't want a public load balancer. Let me make it as an internal load balancer. And the SKU type is standard. And the virtual network where I will be preferring is VNet Central India. As you see the region specific, so you would able to see that particular VNet. So it's going and choosing by default LB subnet. Otherwise, you have to choose LB subnet here. And then let the IP address assignment be dynamic. And I'll go and create it. So the load balancer got created. Now, if you go inside the resource, first things while we creating a load balancer, let's name it as LB Central India. And we placed it in VNet Central India. We ensured that the subnet is LB subnet. So while configuring load balancer, we have to first configure the front end, then we have to configure the back end, then we have to configure the health probe, then we have to configure load balancing rules. And if there is any need of NAT, we can even configure NAT rule. As per our scenario, I mentioned that I would go and give a NAT rule for this VM. Instead of that, I'll actually go and create one more VM here. Let me go and create one more VM for configuring NAT rule. I'll name this as, let me name it as DB, DB01. So it's a DB01 server. So that's a database I meant. So I'll configure a NAT rule for that so that from load balancer I can go and redirect to the so and so database server. So I can there's a port, I'll set up a port forwarding directly to database server. So once we configure the NAT rule, or meanwhile, let me go and create an application gateway so that we can save some time. I'm going back to the portal, all services, and under networking services, I find the application gateway. Let me go and create one. And this time, this application gateway should be in West Europe. And app gateway West Europe. And I'm just leaving the tier as standard v2 instead of WAF. Here I'm selecting as VNet West Europe, and by default selected the app gateway subnet. Yeah, that's good to go. Now I have to configure here while creating load balancer. We don't need to do this initially while creating it, but for an app gateway we have to do this. And now if you see the scenario here, by the traffic, web traffic is coming to an application gateway. So this is a public endpoint. So the front end which we wanted to configure should be a public IP. Let me name that as App Gateway West Europe PIP. Then let me go and configure backend. So to which backend it has to route the traffic. So here let me go and create a backend pool. I'll name one pool as Web01. It's Web02 pool, and I'll add the targets later on. I'm just creating a backend pool. Let me add one more backend pool, which I will name it as Web02 pool. This sounds good. Already named it, so it should be Web01 pool. Then after I just gave the names, I have to still add the backend targets. If you see, there are 0 targets as of now. Then I go to the configuration. Here I have the backend pool and have the front end. So how would the request should be routed. That will be in the routing rules. Now you see there are listeners and backend targets. You wouldn't be actually seeing the same thing in a load balancer, then why do we see these things? Because what we are trying to convey here is it's a application gateway is a layer 7 load balancer, whereas in load balancer is a layer 4 load balancing. Okay, so it's balanced based on the ports and the protocols, whereas the application gateway based on the URL it's going to do that. Now when we go and load balance the based on the layer 7, so we have to configure a lot of settings. So instead, if you try getting it everything in one page, it gets very difficult to manage things. So that's why they have smartly named each one as per their role, what they do in routing the traffic. So let me name this as Web01 rule. From the Web01, the traffic comes, it has to traffic route. So for that, what is the rule which I have to develop is I just named it as that way. So let me configure a listener for that. I'm just naming that as web01 listener, and the front end is it has to listen from the public IP, and I'm just leaving it as HTTP. In your real time, you definitely would see HTTPS. So when you do an HTTPS, you have to upload a certificate. So that is SSL certificate you would be needing for the encryption. So that is why you have to upload it. Now I'm going with HTTP, which is port 80, and I'm gonna do not a basic one, but a multi-site here. So I would like to mention that from www.web01.com. This listener will be listening for this web01.com, and if anything there, then it was gonna route to the backend target. So now you see the backend pool here, which I did is 01 for 01 listener. Their backend target is this one, and the HTTP settings. I have to configure the HTTP setting. Now let me name it as web01 HTTP setting and route to the backend port of 80. Let me click on OK. So what is happening? So this listener will listen at a port 80 from the public port. And if anything comes with this so and so URL, it is gonna route to this pool. But what is in what port if it is coming? If it is coming in the port 80, then that is when it is gonna do that. So there are a bit of more additional settings which I recommend to go to Microsoft documentation and refer that. Now I click the routing rules. Now that is done. Let me add one more routing rule and let me configure that as web02 rule. And the listener is web02 listener and the front end IP is public and it's HTTP one and the listener is type is it's a multi-site. It's going to listen for web02.com. And when any request comes to web02.com with that and that it has to be routed to web02 pool and the HTTP setting is web02 HTTP setting. Let me click on add and let me add this routing rule. So I've configured the front end, I configured two pools and I configured the routing rules. Now let me go and create it. So it's going to take certain time. Meanwhile, I'll go back to the load balancer and let me configure the similar thing here. Now you see there's already when we are creating a load balancer, we already configured a front-end IP configuration. We have to configure a backend pool. So let me name that as web01 pool and it is Nick. I'm not going to add any virtual machines as of now. So the backend pool is getting added. Meanwhile, let me add the health probe. So I'll name it as web01 health probe and that should be in HTTP and let it wait for 20 seconds for every request to go and it will for after 5 consecutive failures, but in real time that does not happen. After 3 consecutive failures and some period of 20 seconds, every request goes after 20 seconds and it will consecutive failures happens for 3 times, then it is ensures that that particular backend target is it will not route the request to that backend target anymore. And once the backend pool and the health probe is configured, let me go and configure the load balancing rule. So so what is the rule does when any request comes to front end, it is gonna route that request to the respective backend pool. So it is web01 rule. You can name it as even LB rule. This is fine. And I go with load balancer front end and it is TCP and the port is 80. When a request comes to port 80, the backend port should be also 80 and the pool is web01 pool. And the health probe which has to work for this is Web01 health probe. Session persistence, I don't need it. Then I'm enabling TCP reset, and let me go and create the rule. So I configured one. Now let me actually note down that. So I configured here front end, and I configured listener, configured backend, pool the listener, then I configured HTTP settings, then routing rule, which includes this both. So once we do this, now I have to still configure a NAT rule. For a NAT rule, I have to configure a DB server. Let me go and do that. How do I do that? I'll go back to this and I'll go and go to compute. I'll select a virtual machine and let me name that virtual machine DB01, and the resource group is Central India, and here let me go with one core, and so I can even do this SSH, or I can go with password, but let me go with password this time. Now I'm gonna allow the 22 port, and here I would like to go and create another subnet, that is DB subnet, and that is gonna be, so there I selected a DB subnet, and I don't want a public IP. Let me go and disable the boot diagnostics and create this. Now the VM got created. Now let me go inside the load balancer, and I have to configure a NAT rule. So nothing, it's nothing but a port forwarding. So when I go and from a specific port, I provide this IP address and I do SSH, it has to route to the machine. I'm just gonna implement this concept. So how do I do it? I go inside the load balancer under the inbound NAT rules. Let me add a NAT rule, that is DB01 NAT rule. And from anyone from the front end, when a request comes and it comes from the SSH, that is 22 port, and then the target machine should be DB01. Let me go and give a, this should be 55,001, 55,000 port. Now the target port is, once the request comes in 55,000 port, I would like it to be routed to 22 port of this machine. Let me click on add. So the NAT rule is being configured right now successfully. And if anything comes with the 55,000 port to this IP address, then it is going to route to this target of 22 port. But if you see, I can't right now test whether it is working or not. The reason is my local machine is not connected to VNet Central India as of now. It's only connected to VNet West US. So how do I go and get into this DB of this one? Let me, I will not gonna log in directly from my machines anywhere. I'm gonna log in into the management 01, and from there I'm gonna log in into DB01. So for that, we no need to establish again a point to site connection here, or site to site. The VNet peering should do fine here, but as they are in different regions, we are going to have to implement a global VNet peering concept. So the next scenario is about how do we configure VNet peering, and once we have configured VNet peering, let's go and test whether the local machine was able to connect from a management 01 to this DB01. So how do, and we don't gonna directly get into the DB01 IP address, but through the load balancer IP port forwarding technique, we are gonna get into the DB. Is this a real-time implementation? That's how it works? Not really. You would have might have the route tables ensure that the request, if it is coming only through a respective channel, then it is allowed to the DB server. That is a real-time implementation. As I mentioned in the scenario, the task overview in the start of the discussion, that we are not really covering security aspect because that's entirely another discussion that goes around. So I'm talking morely on the networking services part. Yeah, there are the security rules which we have to take care, but we need to actually do that later point of time. So let's in the next video, stay tuned. How do we configure VNet peering and connect to the machine? Thank you.